All right, I am here at the Atlas booth here on the main floor at New York Comic Con, and I'm with
Stephen Paul and the famous Marty Abrams.
Some say infamous.
So tell us about the Atlas Comics and what you guys are doing here.
So this is the 50th anniversary of Atlas Comics. There's sort of a treasure chest of comic books that really haven't been released to the world, that have been, created by some of the greatest artists of our time. And for me, it's just a great way to start. Come to Comic-Con, 50th anniversary. We're bringing some of the original people who were involved with Comic-Con, with Atlas, which is Jeff Robin, Rick Myers, Larry Hama will be here, and Marty, who is one of the great action figure creators of all time. And we are launching 5 new action pieces based on the original comic books.
Harry said that this is a complete circle, because we were the first ones to do all of Marvel. We were the first ones to do all of Warner, which means Batman, Spider-Man, across the board. And now 50 years later, we're going to be the first ones to do Atlas. I mean, it just sets the tone for us. I'm a very humble man who wants to say we're very excited to be here and with this opportunity, because the stuff looks great, the characters are great, and it's got a very, very special storyline.
And I'll say one other thing. With comic books, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're always a kid. If you look at us at 250 years old each, here we are as comic book kids, bringing it to the rest of our friends.
So for people who are watching who might not know, give us a little history about Atlas and where things
So Atlas was founded by Martin Goodman. Martin Goodman was the founder of Marvel Comics. If you go back in history in the 30s, it started with Martin Goodman starting a company called Timely Comics. He brought in his young relative, Stan Lieber, who changed the name to Stan Lee eventually. They changed the name from Timely Comics, then to Atlas Comics in the 50s, and then to Marvel Comics in the 60s. Eventually, Marty sold the company to Stan and investors in the 70s with the understanding that Chip, Marty's son, would stay with the company. Eventually, they let him go, and I guess that stimulated Marty Goodman to start Atlas Comics again in 1974, which is why it's the 50th anniversary. So in 1974, Larry Lieber, who was Stan Lee's brother, was put in charge of the company with Jeff Robin and Chip, Marty's son, and he says, go get all the great artists. So they went over to Marvel, they went over to DC, and they all came back over. And you have Stephen Ditko, Howard Chaykin, some of the greats who have done comic books. And as I said, it's just this beautiful treasure chest of characters. So we are slowly unveiling them, and we're starting to create merchandise in connection with it. We're very fortunate to have Marty here with us.
So Marty, tell us a little bit about your career.
Okay, we got very lucky. We got started as being the first to make action figures from the comic books. As I said before, it didn't make a difference. It was Marvel and/or / the Warner characters. We made it virtually every character in the 70s, which included Star Trek, Planet of the Apes, Fonzie, Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, just went on and on. The only ones we didn't have the opportunity to do was Star Wars. And so all that library of product, when Mego then went out of business back in the early 80s, we have now brought back and reestablished all those same characters that we did in the 70s. And the extension of what we did in the 70s, we understand we have to turn around and be at least relevant to some level. And that relevance really comes together with Atlas, because they're taking the next step up in terms of what their ability to do versus what Marvel is able to do, because they don't have to have a big, huge company like Disney telling them what they can or what they can't do.
Now, I remember having a bunch of the Mego toys, both Marvel and DC, growing up, and for some reason, my parents decided to sell them in a yard sale.
Yeah. It's breaking your heart now, isn't it?
It always breaks my heart just to think about it. So, what do you guys have? What do you have here today at the booth this weekend for people to?
So we've got 4 action figures that we're unveiling. that Marty designed, and they're going to be giving them away here. I think starting in a short while. Right, we've already had the Hands of the Dragon, Grim Ghost. Today, I think we're doing is it Devilina
And Phoenix.
and Phoenix.
All right. Anything else you'd like the people to know about Timely Comics, or what you guys have in store?
So just that we're going to stay authentic to what the original concept was. There's great characters, great stories, and we're looking forward to making live action movies, which is what I specialize in, and helping to bring that to the screen. And looking forward to continuing also at the Comic-Con convention, because that's great for me to be here with everybody and see this energy.
And the other part of this is because there are no rules here. There's an opportunity. We've got one guy making the decision, Steve, of what can and can't be done. We are weaving all these characters together in a multi-universe storyline. So as the characters come out, they can interface with one another and have this resemblance to a package that makes everything work in a very beautiful and must say cinematographic way.
And where can people find out about Atlas online? Do you know?
Just go online.
Okay.
You put Atlas, and I believe that they'll come on. And right now we have Walmart, who are selling the merchandise exclusively, and we're very fortunate to have them here with us, helping to sponsor. So we have a great partnership with Walmart.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to doing your thing, and thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
Wonderful talking to you.
Thanks for having us.